It's time to get that old thing back. Do you ever wonder how you got there? There being a lonely, despondent, unfulfilled place? I mean, especially when you were doing everything right. How did you let the relationship fall apart? It was going so well. You were waking up early to spend time with them. You were staying up late. You can't wait to see them when they get home from work, just to spend time with them. You sung them praises. You told them everything. You were vulnerable. You were open. But then one day you look up and it's all so different. Different meaning lonely, apathetic, despondent, and that empty, lost feeling. But what happened? Because you were doing everything right, good, to keep the relationship tight, right? And I'm not talking about him or her. I'm talking about Christ. I know it sounds weird, but have you ever been doing a bunch of right things and still end up wrong? And then how does that even happen? Let's look at Revelations 2:2-5 as John is transcribing what the angel of the Lord is sharing with him on the issues that are going on at the seven churches. And specifically, the church that we're going to be visiting today is Ephesus. Come on, let's go get a seat and let's see what the Spirit of the Lord has to say to this church.
I know your deeds, your hard work, and your perseverance. I know that you cannot tolerate wicked people, that you have tested those who claim to be apostles but are not, and have found them false. You have persevered and have endured hardship for my name, and have not grown weary. Yet I hold this against you. You have forsaken the love you had at first. Consider how far you have fallen. Repent and do the things you did at first. If you do not repent, I will come to you and remove your lampstand from its place.
So how do you work hard, persevere, stand for righteousness, endure hardship, and not even get weary? You are keeping busy, you're doing the things of the Lord, giving to the needy, hating that which is evil, but you still lost your zeal and you lost your love and you're forsaking your first love. And boy, do I get it. I get it. In life, you just get busy. You're doing your thing. You're going about your day. You're even doing the things of the Lord. But you're not investing in your relationship. You're not spending the time that you used to with Christ. And what good is it if you do everything right, yet you lose the most meaningful connection, the most meaningful relationship you have in your life? Because what good would it be to invest in all of those things, but you don't invest in what invests back in you? You don't build up yourself in what builds you back up. You don't replenish yourself in what replenishes you. Our relationship with Christ is that for us. It is not too different from relationships with other people, with our spouses, because it was meant to be a type and a shadow. Intimacy is what connects us back to God. Intimacy with God is the time that we spend in His Word, time in prayer, time in communication, time in praise and worship. That is what God seeks after. He is seeking after our fellowship. He is seeking after intimate fellowship with the apple of His eye. And the plea and the area of correction for Ephesus was to get that old thing back, to do what you first did when you were so in love, to go back and do those old things, get that old thing back. And I've seen some beautiful love stories in my life. And I would like to say that I actually have one of those beautiful love stories. But there is nothing like the hunger, the thirst, the love, the admiration on the countenance of a new Christ believer. There is nothing more beautiful than a person soaking in God's love. That is nothing more beautiful than seeing a new Christ believer in their newness of their relationship. The Spirit of the Lord tells Ephesus to consider how far they have fallen, to repent and to do the things you first did. Meaning we have to get that old thing back, our love, our passion for Christ Himself, not works, not missions, to give our hearts back to Him, to give our lives back to Him, so that when we do works and so that when we do missions, that people don't see us being busy and doing nice gestures. They see Christ Himself. Sidebar, have you ever read Revelations 2 and you realize, I feel real Ephesus-like right now? Ephesus is me. Oh Lord, I repent. Ephesus. I'm Ephesus. Yeah, I know that feeling. God calls us out of a ritualistic, mundane, busy lifestyle into a relationship with Him, where we spend time with Him, where we talk to Him, where we engage Him in our everyday lives. Much like the sisters Mary and Martha in Luke 10:38 through 42. Martha was busy, mad, stressing, busy, and mad at her sister because her sister chose to sit at Jesus' feet versus help her serve all these people at her house. Jesus' response, I believe, gives us a better understanding of Revelations 2. He says to Martha in verse 41 and 42, Martha, Martha, the Lord answered, you are worried and upset about many things, but few things are needed, or indeed only one. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her. We, of course, have lives to live. We have duties to do. We have tasks to complete. However, we need to take and make opportunities to spend time with the Lord by worshiping Him, reading the Bible, His instructional love letter to His people, the apples of His eye. We need to include Him in all that we do, in all parts of our lives, as that is how we're going to build relationship with Him. God is calling His people to relationship, not religion, relationship. And we have to get that old thing back. When God first called us, when we could feel Him, when we could see Him moving in our lives, when we were such new Christians, when we would run to get back to our word, run to fall on our knees, we were so hungry and so thirsting. That's what we need to get back to get back to the old things. We need to get that old thing back and return to our first love and to do those things that we used to do that pleased Him. Return to your first love. Get that old thing